Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining the ACA Small Business Bootcamp and Resource Collective for this Thursday, February 18th. I'm Robert Theobald, the Small Business Ombudsman and Vice President of Small Business Services here at the Commerce Authority. And we're excited to have everybody with us today. We've got a great session on board. As always, when we start, we like to thank all of our community partners. We could not do these bootcamp sessions without their help, their time, their expertise. They've been amazing, and we look forward to their continued partnerships. The Small Business Bootcamp and Resource Collective is designed to help small businesses work through the COVID crisis. It is a statewide initiative supported by all of our community partners. And the Bootcamp and Resource Collective was originally started thinking that the crisis was going to be, 6 weeks, 4 weeks? Last April, we kicked it off, and we have seen the need to continue it, and we are going to continue it going forward. As there are needs for the content. So we, excuse me, I look forward to doing these and providing content to help support your businesses. The Small Business Bootcamp and Resource Collective webpage is a critical tool to help with sharing this information. This is the site you went to register for today's bootcamp session. And additionally, on this site, we have our link to our Resource Collective and links to all of the previous bootcamp sessions. We've done a total of about 126 bootcamp sessions since the start, and all of those are recorded with their information on the archive at the bottom of that page. And you can go back and watch any of the previous sessions, review ones you've watched, review the ones you may have missed. It's a great resource, lots of learning opportunities there. And we will continue to record each session and post them in the archive when they're done. The other tool I mentioned is the Resource Collective. It is a website that we set up with information from our community partners. These community partners have provided guides and resources to help small businesses. This is a sample list of many of these guides that are available. You can see that they cover multiple industries, many different industries, from restaurants, cosmetologists, manufacturing, construction, restaurant safety, etc. So lots of great resources available to you on the Resource Collective. Some quick updates as well. We want to let you know about a few key things. First is the SBA Emerging Leaders Program. You'll see there's two links for it here. This is a nationwide SBA program, and this is for the Arizona group. You can apply and be part of this cohort. Very cool program. Also, the FedEx Small Business Grant Contest opened up on February 16th and closes in early March. This has the opportunity to win some sizable funds for your small business. So you may want to take a look at that. I also posted an updated lender list for the PPP lenders for Arizona. You can access that through this link. Again, all these links we will post in the chat, so you don't have to try to write them down real quick, but they'll be listed in the chat box. And then finally, I just want to mention the SBA COVID-19 Relief Options website. This is the homepage where you can link to the PPP website, the EIDL website, debt relief, shuttered venues, etc. It is a great website from the SBA to have favorited or saved on your computer so you can access it easy. There's a lot of great information you can find there. So moving on, we also have our COVID-19 Arizona Business Resources website at the Commerce Authority here. This is a great tool. We have business guidance, we have financial resources, and we keep it updated constantly. As soon as new information comes out, we update it on this website. So another great tool to favorite and keep track of. Quickly want to share some of our programs that may help you and your small businesses. Our small business services, we can work with you to navigate through the SBA, work with the SBDC, or work with SCORE. Both of those are SBDC and SCORE are no-cost business counseling programs. We can help connect with local banking contacts if you're looking for PPP loans or traditional loans or SBA loans, etc. Our workforce division can work with businesses that are looking to hire employees or upskill their employees. They have a number of programs to help there. And then our Arizona MEP, our Manufacturing Extension Partnership, is an expert program, a top-notch program, nationally recognized team that helps work with manufacturers across the state to help them grow and reach their goals. Additionally, a lot of people are looking to start businesses or move their businesses to Arizona. And our small business checklist can help with that. It's an online interactive guide that helps identify the licensing, registration, and compliance needs at the local, state, and federal levels. And then finally, the last website I want to reference is the state's COVID-19 information and resource page, arizonatogether.org. This is always updated with everything COVID-19 related, not just business, but all the different aspects of COVID-19. So looking forward to next week's sessions, just a quick touch on those. On Tuesday, we're going to have a session on how distracted driving laws impact your business. We've got a great lineup for that session. It was put together by the National Safety Foundation. And we have speakers, and if you remember Officer Townsend from Arizona that was killed in the line of duty by a distracted driver, we've got his family going to be on to share some information as well. It's going to be a really interesting and valuable session. And then on Thursday, we're going to have word productivity hacks for small businesses. We're going to be joined by Digitile. They're one of our Arizona Innovation Challenge winners, as well as one of the actually there were 8 Arizona companies recognized by the SBA for 2020, and they are one of them. So it's going to be great to have them on board for our Thursday session. With that, we want to go ahead and then turn our time over to today's speaker, Taylor Wellman. She's a writer, producer, and marketer of Financial Potion. Taylor's been with us before and talking about video and how it can impact our business, and she does a phenomenal job. So we're really looking forward to today's session. So Taylor, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and turn the time over to you.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Robert. I'm super excited to be here. And thank you all who have decided to join. We're going to be talking about leveraging videos on social media to strengthen your business. So throughout this presentation, I may talk a little fast. I'm originally from the East Coast, and I have been conditioning myself to slow down. But if you have any questions, please make sure you locate that Q&A button at the bottom toolbar of Zoom. Put your question in there, and I'll make sure to answer them at the end of the presentation. So let's get started. So what you're going to learn, what are the 3 types of videos you need to produce as a business? And it doesn't matter what business you're in, whether you're B2B, B2C, where to post them and how to post them correctly. And so let's get right to it. The types of videos that you should be producing. Number 1 is an introduction video. People need to know who you are. What's your value proposition? Who is your target demographic? And what is your call to action? And this introduction video is going to be a video that you should put on the home page of your website and on the top fold of your website. And so that means what people see before they even scroll down. Think of a newspaper. What's on that top piece? In addition to that, you're going to want to put this introduction video in your LinkedIn profile, pinned to the top of your Facebook business page, added to your Instagram, and then also added to your email signature. This way, anytime you send an email, it could be a thumbnail at the bottom that people can easily click on and learn more about you. This introduction video is supposed to be a clone of you. And so make sure that you really do spend a lot of time on perfecting this video because it could be their first impression of you. Number 2, reviews and testimonials. Word of mouth is the oldest form of marketing, but it's still the most reliable. That's why there's sites like Yelp, because people really do care about other people's experiences. And so you really want to get good at listening when someone is giving you praise and then say, hold on a moment, do you mind if we capture that as a testimonial or review? The beauty with these videos is that they're really supposed to be authentic. And so you do not need to make sure that they're overly produced. Just make sure that you can get a quality video of them, so a good framing, and then good audio. And then if they stumble a little bit as they're trying to find their words, that's totally fine, because we want to show real people talking about you and your services. And so when you're capturing these videos, always make sure that at the very least they say, I would recommend, and then insert your name, your business, or product, and then why. That is the biggest thing that you want people to say, because we want to make sure we hear the connection of recommend and then your business or product. And then lastly, this is SSME, that's search and subject matter expert videos. These are going to be a series of videos that you're going to post on your social media accounts that's going to be a value-based marketing. And so what I mean by that is, are there various questions that you're always answering, that you're starting to feel like a broken record repeating on the phone, or you're getting hand cramps retyping all over again? If you ever find yourself repeating an answer of any sort, you want to make it a video, and you want to think beyond yourself and your industry. Sometimes we might have terminology that we just think everyone knows, but no, you're so involved in your industry that you know terminology that other people don't. And so break down your business, break down terminologies, and make those as videos. And that's going to prove that you are the subject matter expert in that particular field. And it's going to assist with your search engine optimization, because people will be looking up the definitions to various terminology, and we want to help you get found organically. And organically means before you spend a penny on any advertising, that you are going to get found because of those keywords and because of the content that you're sharing. And so once again, it doesn't matter if you're selling purses or you're selling life insurance. You absolutely need to have these 3 types of videos at the very least. All right. And so once you create your videos, you need to utilize the video marketing social media distribution roadmap. This is going to help you travel along and figure out exactly where you should be posting your videos. And so your videos in this example is this adorable little blue car here. And the first stop after creating your video is going to be going down to YouTube. Now, YouTube, this is demographically across the whole nation. 77% of people the age of 15 to 35 years old are on YouTube. And then we have 73% of people of the age of 36 to 45 are on YouTube. 70% of people 46 to 55 are on YouTube. And 67% of the population that are 56 years and above are on YouTube. So looking at this slide, you can see people are on YouTube. People are so much on YouTube that it's actually the second most visited website worldwide. It's also the second most used search engine. That's something that many people have confused about when it comes to YouTube. They think that YouTube is a social media platform because people can make comments and kind of connect in sorts. But it's not. It's not really a social media platform. It really is a search engine. And it's the second most used search engine next to Google, which is number 1. But Google bought YouTube in 2008. And so that's why Google will always populate YouTube videos when you're searching for things, because they want you to see videos. They understand that people like videos and want to learn from videos because people actually retain the information given in a video. On average, people will retain 60% of the information that's given in a video, comparative to only 20% when read and 30% when heard. And that's because videos will multiply the senses. You're able to see it, read it, hear it. And the more senses that can absorb that information, the easier it's going to be to retain it. And so when you're looking at your marketing list of things that you want to do, if you're thinking about only writing a blog, I really encourage you that write the blog, but also accompany it with a video. And so, what types of videos do well on YouTube? Really, every video. It doesn't matter if it's your introduction, a review, a training video, how to use your product, a terminology definition video. It can literally be anything. If it's a video that you produced, you need to put it on YouTube because you want it to get organically found when people are searching for your solutions. And so make sure if you create a video that you're going to leverage it on YouTube. And as for length, YouTube does not limit you the way that maybe an Instagram would. Your video truly could be as long as it needs to be. I really want you to pay attention to that needs word. If it's a sales video and you're truly just trying to sell people, then you're going to want to stay a minute or less. People don't want to be sold to. And so when you're scripting, that's going to be about 150 words depending on how fast you speak. And even if you are a fast talker, I would encourage that you try to slow down a bit because the majority of the world wants that little slower pace to comprehend what you're saying. And so on YouTube, if you're doing a sales video, I encourage it's about a minute. If you're providing education, you're sharing a terminology, you're telling someone steps on how to complete a task, you're showing an overview how to use your product, make the video as long as it needs to be for the content to resonate with the viewer and for them to comprehend. And so depending on the complexity of your service or product, it might be a 2-minute video. It might be a 5 or 10-minute video. Maybe you're doing interviews with other subject matter experts. It could be a half-hour long then, if it's engaging. And so whenever you're looking at the videos you're going to be doing and promoting onto YouTube, say to yourself, do I obtain information from this video? Would I receive value from this video, or is it a little redundant? Try not to be redundant. Try to be as concise as possible while still providing value. Now, once you have determined the video that you're going to create, there are search engine optimization steps to be completed on YouTube. Number one is your title. You want to make sure that your title is 70 characters long that are keyword rich. And only the first 30 characters are seen when someone is looking on the YouTube wall. And so what that means is that you can position the first 30 characters to be really good looking for the viewer, and then utilize the last 40 characters for search engine optimization. And so let's say we're talking about how to buy a house for a first-time home buyer. So the title could be First-Time Home Buyer Tips, How to Find a Home Perfect for You. So how to is the number one search phrase. And so the more that you can add how to your title, it's going to help you with your ranking and with your searchability. And make sure that when someone looks at the title, they can tell you're going to be answering a question that they have. Now we have our description. The description should be at least 2,000 characters long. And that might feel like a lot. However, you're allowed up to 5,000 characters in this section. And so 2,000 is a little less than half. And what you want to do is you want to write it in a 4-part format. Part 1 should literally be 3 to 4 lines. And what I mean lines is when you're filling out this information in the description box, it's literally 3 to 4 lines in that box. And it should be a repeat of what the title is, as well as a call to action to your website. Remember, we're here to strengthen your business. And so we want people to get to you faster. And so make sure in those first 3 to 4 lines that you're utilizing a link back to your website. And you need to make sure that you grab the entire https:// the whole URL, because if you don't grab the whole URL, it's not clickable. And we want to make sure that it's easy for people to get to you. And so if you have an extremely long URL, I would advise that you make it a bit.ly link, make it shorter so that way it fits there nicely. Now, part 2, you're going to include some hashtags, and you're not going to go hashtag vomit on it like Instagram. You're going to just come up with 4 or 5 hashtags that are unique to you and common to your industry. And so utilizing our home example again, it could be hashtag Taylor Wellman real estate, something very unique to me, and then it would be hashtag AZ real estate, something that then is more broad to that particular industry. Because through hashtags, you're hoping to build your own unique catalog, but then you also want to get found for an already created catalog. In addition to part 2 with the hashtags is you need to include a full transcription of the script and of the video. And so this is where pre-production can really help you. If you already wrote a script, you already have that job done. Copy, paste that into there, and already you have your script. If you don't have a script, you may want to listen to your video again, or at least put a good summary in there. Part 3 of description writing is going to be your general about section. So what is your business about? What is your product about? Share a general explanation there. And then part 4 is your stay connected section. That's where, once again, you're going to want to link back to your website and link back to any social media sites that you want people to follow you on. Now we have tags. Tags are not hashtags, so you don't put that number sign in the beginning, but those are actually the keyword phrases that you want to get found for. And you want to add 500 characters of keyword-rich tags, as well as common spelling errors. If you have a name or a business that people regularly misspell, make sure you put that in the tag section as well. So if someone does search for you and misspells your name, your videos will still populate. Custom thumbnail. This is something that many people don't spend enough time on. You absolutely need to make sure that you upload a custom thumbnail. And so don't utilize the 3 options that YouTube gives you. YouTube always seems to pick the worst thumbnails, just mid-expression, not smiling, and that's not attractive. What you want to do is make sure that you do have a smiling face on there, and then some text about what the video is going to be about. People choose to look at a YouTube video because of 2 primary reasons. Number 1, the title is saying that it's going to answer their question. And number 2, the thumbnail says it's going to answer their question. Especially the mobile phone users look at the thumbnail more than they look at the actual title. And so make sure that someone can tell what the video is going to be about just by looking at that thumbnail. And as I was saying, having a smiling face on there is really beneficial because we have found that people do want to connect to other people. And so make sure that it has that nice combination for your thumbnails. Location tag. This is extremely important for anyone who actually has a Google business account and has their actual business listed with Google, because when you do a location tag, above your video title will actually be your location listed. And so you want to make sure that you tag that. Once again, we want the best chances for people to build trust with you through video as they're searching for solutions. And so add that location tag. End screens. So end screens, you can see here this first image. This is showing an example of some end screens. Now they're called end screens because they're only at the very end of a video. They're actually in the last 20 seconds of a video. So that means your videos need to be at least 25 seconds long to add an end screen. And the reason why you'd want to do this is because you want to encourage people to stay on your content. Continue to build that trust with them. Continue to let people know that, yes, you are the solution for them. And so you'll want to add a video end screen. And when you do that, you can choose to either pick a particular video, which would be great to do if you're talking about a particular series, or you can choose to link to your most recently uploaded video. And you would pick that option if you're uploading videos at least once a week. Now, if you're not very consistent with your posting, or you're just starting to really get back into video marketing, or just starting with video marketing, then you'd want to choose best for viewer. What that's going to do is YouTube is going to look at the search history of that particular user and look at your content and then recommend the best video for that user to see of your content. It's really a great tactic if you do not post regularly. In addition to that, you're going to always want to make sure you add a subscription button. That's going to take on the look of your profile picture. And so make sure you have a good looking profile picture. And then people can easily click on that button and become your subscriber. Once you have reached 1,000 subscribers, you'll be able to even add website end screens where people can then click on a button and go right to your website. YouTube used to have it a lot easier for business owners where you just had to prove you owned your website and then you were able to do it. And about 2 years ago, they made the switch where you do have to have 1,000 subscribers. Now, if YouTube is good for anything, they're good for changing the rules. And so I'm really hoping that they change the rules back again, where it's going to be easier for business owners to link back to their website. I know I have written to them numerous times about it. So fingers crossed, everyone, that we'll all be able to quickly link back to our website after verifying our account. So those are the end screens. And then we're going to talk about cards. Cards are very similar. Whenever you see this eye icon on the top right-hand corner of a video, that means they have cards on their videos. And cards can be links to other videos, which you definitely want to do if you're ever doing a video series. So for example, if we're talking about the first-time home buyers buying a house, anyone on this call who has ever bought a house knows there's quite a few steps involved. And so let's say we were talking about the home search, but they didn't watch the, getting qualified video. And so then in that end screen, you could say, did you get qualified yet? As a little teaser. And then someone might go, what's that mean? And click on it and then watch the first video in the series versus being in the third video, because that's the video they naturally found when searching for their answers. And so the cards are going to help people stay in the right position of your series to make sure that they're obtaining the information in the order that they should be. In addition to that, once again, either once you reach 1,000 subscribers or once YouTube has decided to change the rules again, you're going to be able to add cards that link back to your website. And that's extremely valuable for business owners because then you can link back to your product pages, you can link back to your contact page, wherever you want to bring people to, you can do it right there on the video link. Transcriptions. So Google will automatically transcribe your videos. So that means whenever you see a CC on a video timeline, that means there's closed captions and transcriptions on there. And with YouTube, it's user's discretion whether to turn it on or off, whether to have it on the screen or not. But even if people are watching your videos without it on, Google is reading your transcriptions. They're reading the transcriptions for search results. And so you need to make sure that your transcriptions are correct. So that way, if they are misspelling your name or your business name, if someone Googles your name or business name, we want these videos to populate. And so you would have to update these transcriptions. As I said, the one thing YouTube's very good at doing is changing the rules. And earlier this year, they actually changed it where you can't edit your transcriptions in the actual platform. What you need to do is you need to upload an SRT file that is corrected. How to obtain an SRT file is you can go to rev.com, rev.com, and for $1.25 a minute, you can get a full transcription, or you could even purchase an SRT file to then upload to this account. There's also a convert site, a text to SRT site, where if you just save your script as a text file, so a TXT, then you can go to the site and for free get it converted to an SRT file. Playlist placement. Number 9, and the last, but also a very, very, very important step, is whenever you upload a video, you need to make sure you populate it in at least one playlist. And yes, at least one playlist. Really, you want to put the video in any playlist that it could fit in its category. So using our first-time home buyer example, it would go in Taylor Wellman Real Estate. That would be my catch-all playlist. Basically, anything that I would create, I would put on that playlist. And then I would also create a playlist that would either be for buyers or maybe even more detailed, first-time buyers. This way, the playlist itself is actually searchable. And you'll want to make sure that you add at least 150 words in the actual playlist description to make it more searchable. So that is posting to YouTube. When you create the video, you need to also do the 9 steps, maybe 8, because cards aren't always going to be needed. steps to YouTube optimization. So that way you do have the best chance to get organically found. Then once that video has been created, you can use the embed code to add to your website or newsletters. You can use the links to add to your email signatures, your blogs, Pinterest, or Patreon accounts. Patreon is a membership site where if you wanted people to become your member, you can do that on Patreon and not have to pay for a hosting fee. And then you can also utilize playlist links or upload the exact same YouTube video to Twitter and LinkedIn. And I want to dive a little deeper about utilizing LinkedIn. This is the demographics of LinkedIn users. 20.3% are of the age of 18 to 24. 59.9% are of the age of 25 to 34. 16.9% are the age of 35 to 54, and only 3% are 55 and above. But the biggest thing is that 4 out of 5 people drive business decisions. They're either business owners or they're CEOs. And so if you are a B2B business, you absolutely need to be focusing on YouTube and LinkedIn. The other platforms we're going to be talking about, sure, you can play in and you can also put videos on. It's important to have a profile on all these platforms just to help your searchability when someone searches your name, but you don't necessarily need to focus as much energy on all these other platforms if you're B2B. Now, if you're B2C, you probably don't even need to focus on LinkedIn. It's just not your target demographic. They are business owners, they are CEOs. And so if you're talking about a super cute purse, unless it's an executive purse, it may not be the platform for you. So the types of videos that you should be posting on LinkedIn are truthfully the same videos that you should be putting on YouTube if you are a B2B business. Reviews, any terminology, any subject matter expert videos, tips that you can give people. This is going to be so good for LinkedIn because LinkedIn loves seeing videos as well. Videos you'll be noticing when you look at the walls are populating more and more and higher on your wall. And then you also want to make sure though that these particular videos have closed captions hard coded onto the video or that you are uploading your corrected SRT file. LinkedIn and Facebook are 2 platforms where 80% of the users are watching videos on silent because they autoplay on the wall. So think about your last time on LinkedIn and also Facebook. When you're scrolling down the wall, you're seeing videos just autoplay and you might take a quick glance. And that's where you want to make sure you have some nice, large, bold text graphics to get people's attention, let people know what the video is going to be about, so then that way they can choose to click and truly listen and learn from that video. Now, LinkedIn videos are limited to 10 minutes. So if you had one of those half-hour interviews that you posted on YouTube, you would want to create maybe a 9-minute, 50-second edit of it, and then in the comments, supply a link back to your YouTube site for the full version. Or better yet, put the full version on your website blog and put people to your website using the comments and providing a link there. So LinkedIn is very much the same videos as YouTube, just you're limited to 10 minutes. And so, as you saw, we were the car, we traveled down to YouTube lane, we did the optimization, and we went and posted on LinkedIn if we are a B2B business. You'll notice on the complete opposite side of town is where we have Facebook and Instagram. Facebook absolutely hates YouTube because they're super jealous of YouTube. They want to be YouTube. And you'll notice that a lot of things that YouTube has done, Facebook's now doing because Facebook's just being a little bit of a copycat. But Facebook wants to be the dominant force of your attention. And so that's why it's on the complete opposite side of town, because you never, ever, ever want to post a YouTube link on a Facebook post. If you do that, it's going to get buried. It's never going to see the light of day. People aren't going to see it. It'd be amazing when you do a test of sharing a YouTube link and posting the actual video, the engagement difference is astronomical. Utilize Facebook Scheduler. Schedule ahead using Facebook. And so here are some of the demographics of Facebook to really see, is Facebook the place for you? When you think of Facebook and we look at the demographics of Facebook, 5.8% are of the age of 17 and below. So there's still some younger people on there, but it's definitely trickled down. 23.5% are of the age of 18 to 24. 32.4% are of the age of 25 to 35, and 4.7% are of 56 and above. And so if you are talking to moms, if you're talking to those first-time home buyers to find a new carpet, this would be a great place to be because it is in that kind of decision-making time of your life of buying a new home, having a family, 18 to 34. And Facebook, like I said, is more a B2C platform, business to consumer. People aren't on there to learn how to grow their business. They're on there to see their friends' kids and to see some cute kitty photos. And so make sure that if you are a B2B business to still use Facebook, but don't put all your energy on it in comparative to if you're a B2C business. Now, the reason why we all need to be on Facebook, even just a little bit, is because Facebook is the third most visited website worldwide. Like I said, Facebook wants to be that dominating force for your attention. And so people are on Facebook. And that's why really everyone needs to be on Facebook a bit. It just depends on your target demographic on how much you need to focus on it. The types of videos that you should be uploading to Facebook are, once again, your introduction video, your testimonials and reviews, your SSME videos, any type of video that can provide value to people and to let people know more about you and build that trust. Now with Facebook, you aren't quite limited to the length, but you do want to think, what does it need to be? And when you're uploading your videos, Facebook actually gives you a little checklist on the right-hand side before you post your video. And one of the checklists is that the video should be at least 3 minutes long. Now you might be wondering, if my sales video is only a minute, is Facebook going to be upset? Well, no. Your sales video should still only be a minute long, but Facebook wants to have videos over 3 minutes because if you've noticed, they're starting to put ads in between of videos, and they're only going to put an ad if the video is at least 3 minutes long. And so that 3 minutes long note is really a benefit to Facebook, which could be a benefit to you because Facebook will then perhaps position your video better on the Facebook watch page, maybe add some ads if they think it is of interest to people. But don't feel forced to do a 3-minute video if your video truly only needs to be 30 seconds or a minute. The key when you're uploading your videos to Facebook is just to make sure that you're doing their optimization steps. And so for the title, it does not need to be a 70-character long title. It should just be a clear and concise title of what the topic is, what the video is about. And then in that actual post description, you'll want to tag anyone who is involved in the video. You'll want to add hashtags, and you'll want to add a call to action again back to your website. Once again, we're talking about strengthening our businesses. We're not trying just to be, Facebook and YouTube creators. We want to get people to our website. So always make sure that you're linking back to that website. For the tags, you don't need to do, or you can't do 500 characters. You actually are limited to about 10 tags. And when you're typing out, perhaps still using the example of the first-time home buyer, you're typing out real estate, you're going to see that Facebook's going to give you some suggestions. And you really want to try to utilize the suggestion tags that Facebook is presenting to you, because those are tags that are already associated with their ad accounts. And so they're already kind of targeting the demographics within their platform for those various keywords. You do have the ability to create your own keywords, but those aren't going to be as beneficial to you as the ones that Facebook is suggesting. Thumbnails. Thumbnails aren't as important as they are on YouTube, but I would still utilize the same YouTube thumbnail on Facebook, because if someone does go onto your profile page, you'll want to make sure that you have a good looking thumbnail under your videos, that people could just scan your video section and quickly see what videos they would want to watch. Captions, as I previously mentioned, are extremely important for Facebook. So whether you actually hard code the closed captions in the video or you upload a corrected SRT file, it's going to be important that you have these captions on your Facebook videos, because once again, 80% of the people on Facebook are watching your video first on silent. And so the bigger and bolder those text graphics can be, the better. Facebook still currently also offers polls. And the reason why I said still currently offers is because YouTube used to do polls, and YouTube got rid of polls about October of last year. And so we'll see if Facebook follows suit with YouTube. But basically, what you can do is utilize polls in order to hold people's attention. So I could have had a poll, let's say this was one big video. I could have had a poll to say, how many people are going to post on Facebook? Yes, no, maybe some. And then in the middle of my video, that poll will come out and engage with my audience. The reason why you want to add a poll is if your video is a little on the long side, maybe you think you're going to have some attention dropout, go ahead and put a poll. Because what that does is it engages with the audience and it kind of re-triggers their attention span. And so if you found that your average view duration when you look at your analytics is around 1:20, maybe at 1:18, you should put that poll there to re-engage, because we've seen that it has then added more time to the average retention rate. And lastly, make sure, just like with YouTube, that you're placing your videos in a series or playlist. The goal is that we want people to find one of your videos and then end up watching several of your videos and becoming one of your fans and just getting totally immersed in who you are, your business, and build that trust. So just to recap again, as we saw, we would have to make a hard left turn and up over to Facebook and stay completely away from YouTube when we're talking about Facebook. And then on the other side of town, we have Instagram, which we know is owned by Facebook, but they have their own different set of rules. And here are some of the demographics you can find within Instagram. Very widespread these days. About 29.6% are 18 to 24, 33.1%, 25 to 34, 15.9%, 35 to 44, 8.3%, 45 to 54, 3.8, 55 to 64, and 2.3, 65 and above. So it used to just be an 18 to 35 demographic, but we have found that it's starting to get a bit older. I've researched that a lot of parents are starting to go on Instagram so they can see what their kids are following and what their kids are doing. And so that's why we're seeing that age demographic creep up. But for the most part, you see, it's still an 18 to 34 demographic. And so if you are talking about college prep or what to do post-college, that could be really great content to put on Instagram. 9 out of 10 users follow a business account. And so although I said if you're a B2B business, you should stay on LinkedIn, you should still post here and there on Instagram. And if you're B2C, oh yes, you need to be posting on Instagram, especially if your target demographic is that 18 to 35 range. The types of videos that you should be putting onto Instagram. Now, Instagram itself limits you to 1 minute. And so the video has to be 1 minute or less. So more than likely, it might be a dialed down version of your intro video. It might be a soundbite from one of your reviews or testimonials, or perhaps a quick SSME video or a portion of one. And then what you could do if your video is longer is utilize Instagram TV. Instagram TV will allow you to have videos to 10 minutes, even up to an hour if you verify to have that long of a length. And you can now upload landscape videos. Before, when it first was established, you had to post a video that was a vertical display. Now it can be a horizontal landscape display, but you do need to upload a thumbnail that is still the vertical display. So for anyone who maybe isn't a graphic designer or doesn't have a graphic designer on your team, I highly advise that you use canva.com. canva.com. Canva has so many different templates on there. You would be able to create your YouTube and your Facebook thumbnail, and they also have templates for your Instagram TV thumbnails. Now, Instagram also created Reels, and Reels is to compete with TikTok. And so Reels are only 15-second long videos. And you can upload a series of like 4 videos together that would play one to another. So, you can basically break down your minute video into 15-second segments, but these should be a little more on the funsy side, maybe something not so serious, just to kind of keep people engaged. And remember the demographic majority in here. It's that 18 to 35, so a little on the younger side, just wanting to maybe smile and still build that trust with you and your brand. So, fortune favors the bold, though, in all these platforms, which means if you go live, these are just 2 examples of going live. Facebook Live, they have found that you're going to get 6 times more interactions and 10 times more comments. And so if you're doing an interview, do it live. Interviews are so easy. It's so authentic and relaxed, and you don't have to worry about being so scripted and stumbling on your words. Those are really good live videos. Or just practice, and go live, and you're going to get more leverage out of it. LinkedIn, you still currently have to apply to go live, but for those of the people who did and who have been going live, they have found that they're getting 7 times more reactions and 24 times more comments. And the reason for this is platforms will always position videos with their newest features higher. So when Facebook started doing their Facebook Live, they wanted everyone to know about it, and they want everyone to use Facebook Live. And so that's why Facebook Live videos are going to position higher on your wall than just posted videos, and especially more than photos. And then same thing with Instagram. Instagram Live is something that that Instagram platform wants to promote, so it's going to be higher. But believe it or not, for Instagram, you're actually going to get a higher ranking on a reel, because the reels are the latest technology piece of their platform that they really want to highlight in competition with TikTok. And so always think of what are the newest features on a platform, because whatever those newest features are, that's going to be what they want people to see. And so although going live can be a little intimidating sometimes, it definitely can give you some major benefits. So once again, just a quick recap of our video distribution roadmap is you're going to create your video, and really pre-production can help you in so many ways. You can utilize the script throughout your social media distribution and optimization, and it just helps really get you focused on what you're going to say. And then no matter who you are, what's your business, what's your product, you absolutely need to make sure that you're optimizing on YouTube. You do want to go onto Facebook, no matter who you are. It just depends on your business and demographic, how much you're going to focus on Facebook. And then, LinkedIn, totally important for any B2B business. And Instagram, really that 18 to 35 demographic is still ideal. Now you'll notice I don't have TikTok on here yet. To be completely honest, I have not dove into the TikTok world. I don't know the business benefit of it yet. It reminds me of when Snapchat first came out. Everyone said, oh, you got to be on Snapchat. You got to be on Snapchat. I never saw the business benefit to it, and I still don't. And so it's not on this particular roadmap. But perhaps TikTok might be come next quarter. We'll have to see. So that is the video distribution roadmap. I am Taylor Wellman. If you have any questions, now is going to be the time that we can chat about them. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Q&A. Okay, let's see here. As a higher education organization, we're struggling to get content or videos from our students. How would you recommend getting students to record small snippets and send them over for us to use? Okay, so that is a really great question. For students, they love their phones. They love their phones. So the more that you can just encourage them to use their phones, I guess I would want to know a little bit more of the type of content you're asking them to capture for you. But I would advise that you create a kind of a best practices sheet, or even better yet, a best practices video about how to capture your own videos. A lot of younger people are going to be holding it vertically, but for most platforms, that's not going to look the best. Really, only Instagram TV really caters to that vertical portrait display. And so you're going to want to encourage that they either get a tripod with a tripod clamp in order to hold the phone steady and hold it horizontally. And then just sort of coach them on the very basic things that they need to do. For the most part, I have found that young people, and especially students, they are not shy from video. And so just make sure that they understand the goal and the purpose of the videos, to make sure they understand how to do it, and give them a due date, and hopefully they'll get it done for you. But definitely would be interested to know exactly what kind of content you're looking for them to do. Okay, excellent. Great question. What's the difference between cards and end screens? So let me go ahead and go back to that slide to be able to explain a little bit more. And so cards are on the video throughout the video. So you could put a card in the first 3 seconds to say, did you watch video 1? It could be a card at 30 seconds, a minute. The video could be less than 25 seconds and you could still add cards. End screens, though, are only at the last 20 seconds of a video, and so the video must be at least 25 seconds long, and they're only at the end, and they're displayed in these images, while the cards are a little more hidden with this eye icon, and it only shows up at that particular marker point when that icon's supposed to show, or you can click on the icon and see what cards are attached. Okay. If we're putting these out on YouTube, due to the new formatting procedures that YouTube has made, how should we categorize our videos to be in compliance with YouTube? Definitely need more information on your question, Jerry. You know, you want to make sure any video that you are doing that it doesn't have any copyright issues. YouTube is extremely huge with their copyright, and they're so quick to it that, you know, if you're using music, don't use a popular song. As much as it sounds like it'd be fun to do, don't do it. Go to a site, purchase a good track. There's so many great tracks. Audiojungle.com, artlist.io, Audio Blocks. There's so many different sites where you can get great music that you can then purchase the license, and then you won't have issues with YouTube and their compliance with that. You know, in addition to that, just make sure that any video clips, you know, are your video clips. So it's really key that the copyright is yours. And I hope that answers your question, but please, Jerry, feel free to post more or let me know if that didn't answer your question. So are YouTube videos considered published? So whenever you're posting your videos to YouTube, you have an option to make it public, unlisted, or private. Public means someone could Google how to sell my house, you know, business tips to grow my business, anything, and you have an opportunity to get organically found. It's publicly out there. It can be searched on YouTube. It can be searched on Google. It's out there in the world. Unlisted means only people who get the link, or only sites with the embed code can see the video. So let's say you created a training video that you only want to share with your clients. Then you would mark that video as unlisted. So that way it can be seen, but only by those who have the URL link. And so this would not be publicly found. Private means you would actually have to email the video through YouTube to the person you want to receive that video. Very rarely do we use the private setting. Typically, it's going to be between public and unlisted. And so once it's public, it is published. Let's see. So do we directly upload our videos to Facebook or use Hootsuite to directly upload to Facebook? No, you want to always use Facebook. Facebook's algorithm is like crazy smart. They can tell if you're using a third-party posting. And I've seen on these third-party posts where they'll say you'll natively post to those accounts. How are you natively posting to those accounts if you're doing it inside of the Hootsuite system or the buffer system? What you absolutely need to do is utilize the Facebook scheduler. That's why Facebook built a scheduler. So that way you can create videos and schedule and optimize ahead of time. I advise for anyone who wants to be consistently posting, and that means at least once a week, that whenever you plan a production period, record at least 5 videos at a time. If you record 5 videos at a time, you could have a production day, you can then have an editing day, you can then have a social media optimization day, and schedule out for the month. If you have 5 done, you have a little over a month. So then you have enough time in your busy schedule to plan another production day, edit day, social media optimization day, and stay consistent. So always, always directly upload and use the Facebook scheduler for Facebook. Yes, some keyword or hashtag research tools. I absolutely love using tubebuddy.com. T-U-B-E or T-U-B-E-B-U-D-D-Y.com. TubeBuddy. What TubeBuddy is an extension to your Chrome browser. So make sure you're using Chrome. Like, totally use Chrome. YouTube does way better with Chrome. And then you can use TubeBuddy, and there's different accounts. And even with the free account, it's going to give you a beautiful checklist of what you need to do to make sure your video is optimized. It's going to give you an SEO score. So it's actually going to let you know how your video is scoring SEO wise. And then it's going to give you some suggestions. If you were to get one of their paid accounts, you get more tools. You get more tag suggestions and more keyword suggestions. So TubeBuddy would be what I would recommend to use if you need more assistance with figuring out what are my industry keywords. Will YouTube automatically add ads to videos over a certain length? Do we have to say in making sure the ads they use are correct? So unfortunately, YouTube is a business and YouTube is in business of making money. And so unfortunately, you cannot decide the ads. Ads are determined on that particular viewer. So, my husband, he is on YouTube all the time. He loves researching on YouTube. And so he'll regularly get ads about, a men's shaving something or, something along those lines because they know from him that he is a male demographic and this is some of the stuff that he researches. Myself, it's going to be why you should use Constant Contact, MailChimp, business related things. And so the ads are catered to the actual users. And unfortunately, you do not have any control on that. And so if ads are a major problem for you, I would suggest that you utilize a Vimeo account. But the problem with Vimeo is that it doesn't really organically get populated well. And we're talking about strengthening our businesses. And so I want you to get organically found when people are searching for solutions. And so still use YouTube. Don't be discouraged by the ads. People can press skip very quickly. So let's see here. I'm not a graphic designer here to speak about Canva. Could you maybe talk more about this platform and how it can be beneficial for users like me? Canva is awesome. So I absolutely love Canva. I know how to do some graphic design. I know how to use Photoshop, but Canva makes it stupid simple. They have different templates that are going to be the dimensions it needs to be. I find that that's like the biggest problem that non-graphic designers have is that they don't know what the dimension should be for an IGTV thumbnail. And then what you could do with Canva is literally search in the search box Instagram TV, and then it will bring up Instagram TV as an option for a template. Click on that, and then you can choose various templates. Majority of them are absolutely free, and you can upload your own logos, your own images, and really customize it as your own. For the ones that aren't free, you're maybe paying $1 or $2 per graphic. That's extremely inexpensive, and really, it's such a great tool. So anyone who is not a graphic designer but needs to have some graphic design, definitely look at Canva. Okay, so let's see here. I have an Etsy shop. Can I use my reviews from Etsy customers from other stuff like Facebook and Instagram? Can I use them to make a clip of a video? Most definitely. If you only have, let's say, some written responses, I would advise that maybe you ask your customers to send like a picture of them with your product or something, or at least what the product was. And then you can make a nice graphical video that would have like the text of what the customer said, accompanied with some sort of photo. We still want to have that real connection with a person to make it more believable, because anyone can just type anything and say that it was a review. But when you see that smiling face, and that's why video reviews are so so valuable, because once you hear that person talking and that excitement, you believe it more. And so for the Etsy shop, definitely maybe reach out to some of those customers, ask if they can send a photo, ask if you don't mind, including a photo of their product or themselves with it, and then make a nice graphical video. So then that way you can also leverage it on Facebook and Instagram. And if you have multiple reviews, you should make multiple videos. I wouldn't say take all 20 of your reviews and put it in one video. No, maybe do 5 reviews in one video, 5 in another, or just one review of 15 seconds, which would be great for IG Reels. And so I already answered this question. No, you do not want to use Hootsuite for scheduling to other platforms. Definitely you want to try to utilize the actual platform because that's going to make the algorithm happier. Change the rules. Sorry, what was that? It was sort of about to change the rules. More information and stop me from posting since I'm a certified balloon director, balloon twister, Santa Claus. Interesting. Yeah, Jerry, we'll have to talk more about that because I can't even keep track of how many accounts that we manage, and we have not ran into any issues whatsoever. So it could be something with the copyright. It could be something perhaps, they definitely lock down on if your content is for kids or not. And that might be your issue, is that the kids aspect. When you're uploading a video, you need to label whether it's for kids or not. And if you do say it's for kids, they're going to be really picky on the content that's on there, what they're seeing. If they think anything that could be a violation, then they're not going to let you post it. And so, really pay attention. Is your content for kids? And if it is for kids too, you're not going to be able to add cards. You're not going to be able to add end screens. They really limit what you can do for videos that are listed for kids. So that could be the issue that you're having. Should we be concerned at all with overexposure on social media, having a video presence on all? I would not be overly concerned as long as you're providing value. Do not be a spammer. Don't just post only sales videos. If you really focus on those SSME videos, those search and subject matter expert videos, then you're just being a resource to people. And, it might be slightly different on those different accounts. So for example, maybe LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook are all the same, but then you'd want to create a dialed down 1-minute version for Instagram. And so really you can leverage all the same content across all platforms, just maybe tweak it a little bit, for IG, for Facebook and LinkedIn, you'll want to make sure you have those hard-coded captions. And then for IG, even still hard-coded captions, but 1 minute or less. So let's see here. I noticed that Canva also does automated scheduling to platforms. Would you also discourage? Yes, I do discourage. You always want to just utilize the platform scheduling system because their algorithms are getting super smart and they want people to stay on your content. And so if that platform has a scheduling system, use their scheduling system and post natively directly to that platform. Okay, that was all the questions in the Q&A section. And it looks like we're getting a little over time here, but were there any other questions last second? Thank you, Jerry. I'm happy. I hope that did clarify. I have a feeling it's the kids. It's the kids posting is why there's some issues. Okay, were there anything in the chat? I didn't have a chance to go through the chat. Anything else?
We got everything over to the Q&A box.
Perfect. Well, thank you all. I really hope that everyone walked away with some content. We really just want people to, get found and not collect digital dust with their videos.
Yes, thank you, Taylor. Great presentation, a lot of great information in there. Again, this is one of those videos that I'm gonna have to go back and watch multiple times to get all the information. The slide deck will be posted on our website along with the video later today, if not tomorrow morning. And so you can go back and review that. Again, thank you, Taylor. Everybody, we look to see you next week on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. But until then, please have a great weekend, have a safe weekend, and enjoy this wonderful Arizona weather. Thanks.
Thank you all for joining.